we can build a personal system that we can use. So, and this is not just this is not just it's something that is going to be for life. And what I mean is whatever habits that we build over time becomes a part of us. So I want us to see this webinar as something that will teach us the simple habits. Can be something as simple as writing a to-do list in the morning or planning your week ahead. But what this will do to you is that over time it becomes a part of you, and then you don't struggle to do it, and then you do it consistently, and you are able to achieve a particular results, a level of results. So that's what the aim of this class is about. So, and then why this class? Why are we doing this class? You notice that maybe at the beginning of 2025, you have a New Year resolution. You are going to eat the gym. You are going to lose weight, and we would see that most of the things that we have in mind is either we did not follow through at all, or we did not achieve the desired results. We were not able to achieve the results that we wanted. So the reason why people struggle to achieve results is not really because they are lazy. I'm sure, like, I don't want to assume we don't have lazy people on this call here, but the reason is not because you are lazy. It's just because there's a little glitch somewhere that you don't know how to go about what you want to do. So most times we have an end result in mind, but we don't even know the process to start. We don't know the process to start. We don't have a structure that can help us to consistently deliver what you want to do. So you see that you start going to the gym, then after 3 months you stop, and for genuine reasons actually. It might be because you change your environment, or you became more busy with work, or just one reason or the other. And then also because we don't have good execution habits. So not having good execution habits is just basically that you don't have consistent structure to be able to do you don't have consistent structure to deliver the results that you want. So let me give an example. As a student, if there's any students on this call, as a student, at the end of the semester, you want to have all A's. Yes. That's the execution, that's the end plan, that's the goal. But you need to now break down that particular result, which is also one of the things that we'll be doing in this class. So what are the things that I should do? Or let me use launching a business, for example. So you have in mind you want to launch a business, and then the only thing that you are looking at is the end result. You have your Instagram page, you have your products, you have your catalog ready, people are buying from you, you are selling. That's the only result you have in mind. But as breaking down the tasks, which we'll be talking about tasks decomposition in this class, how you break down your tasks to achieve little results. So the end goal is usually very beautiful, but the process, which is optimization, the process to actually get to that result is what we don't put our energy into. And I believe that by the end of this class, we'll be able to help with that. Um, um, just give me a minute. Okay. All right. Please, I want us to confirm that we can still hear me. Can we hear me, please? Can someone unmute and respond?
Yes, we can. I can hear you.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we're going to be going to the aspect of clarity. So what clarity will help you to do is clarity is basically a proper definition of something, and clarity starts with you. So we're going to be doing a little test, not test, but like a little exercise in this place. And most times when you don't have a proper definition of yourself, what that does is you are not clear on what you want to achieve. And I'll give an example. So let's assume I'm a student and I want to have a particular result. So the question would be, why do I want to have that result? And why do I want to have that result? And what would it do for me? So knowing what you are, knowing who you are rather, what comes naturally to you, what defines you, knowing what you stand for will help you to now know the next step to take. So before you organize any task, before you do anything, and this is not something that you do when you want to do every single thing that comes your way. This is something that is an identity that you carry. Like when you know who you are, when you are sure, when you have clarity on what you want to achieve, it just flows. So what an example is, I have a particular standard of the kind of personal brand I want to build. So it means that if I see a particular trend, there are some trends on Instagram or on social media that people will just naturally jump in. But you not see me jumping, even though I know if I jump on that trend, it's going to bring more engagement. It's going to lead to more engagement. But the reason why I will not jump on that trend is because I already know who I am. Like I already know what I want to achieve. I already know the picture I want to achieve in people's mind. That's why you not see me jumping on certain trends, not because of pride. It's just clarity of direction. You know where you're going. And this is not something that you now have to now start doing. Obviously, there are some times that you have to pause. Now rethink, do I really need to do this? Why do I want to do this? Does this align with my value system? But clarity is not something that you have to sit down and let it sink. You sit down with it and you let it sink. So it's something that before you start anything, I know most of us on this call we already have a direction, and for some of us that don't, this is the right time, especially when you are about to write your new year resolution. 2026 is just a few days, so this is the time for you to actually, apart from the things that you want to do these things actually align to your values? Do they align to you? Do they come naturally to you? Do they speak? Like when people see you doing this, are they like, why is this person doing this? Like, does this align with what you want people to perceive, what you want people to perceive of you? Okay, please hold on. All right, so now what I want us to do now is I want us to write, I don't know if you're with your notepads or with your pen, just write three things that come naturally to you. Three things that like you can do easily. When you close your eyes, you can do those things. Or three things that people mention about you. Maybe you have seen people mention, oh, you are very good with organizing tasks. You are very good with doing this or doing that. Just write them down. Three things that you comes naturally to you and you don't struggle to do. And three things that people mention about you as well. I want us to write it down, and then we'll use that to build the momentum for to where we are going. Have we written it? Please, I need the response so I know whether to continue. Can I continue? Can we hear me? Hello, please, can we hear me? I need to be sure before I continue the call. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gloria. Okay, so like I mentioned, what this does is we're going to be going into we've written these things down. So when you understand these things, it lets you know why what you are doing matters, and then it defines success to you. And what I mean by defining success is that you need to be the one to create the standard of your success. And that's because people are going through different pace. So you compare your pace, and then when you don't have a standard of success and when you don't have a timeline for yourself, you are easily swayed. Like, you compare yourself, you are not satisfied with what you have or where you are, and then you just follow trends, you follow whatever everyone is doing. Everyone is opening POS business, you are there. Everyone is learning how to sew clothes today, you are there. I understand the part of, some of us are multidimensional and we have multiple expressions. I am someone that has multiple expressions, and I understand that. But then there has to be a place of clarity where whatever you do still stems from the same person. So you are not looking scattered, and you're not looking like you are comparing, or you are following what another person is doing. So create a timeline for your goals. So this is another thing that we fail to do. So you want to launch a business, and okay, let's assume you want to learn a new skill, you want to learn a tech skill, and you are currently earning let's say 100,000 naira a month. What you do is, okay, I want to learn a tech skill, and this particular skill I want to learn is 500,000 naira. How much can I, if I'm able to save 50,000 naira per month, that's for 10 months, I'll be able to get the money to learn this skill. So what that does is you create a timeline for yourself. So on some months where you're able to save more than that, definitely you are able to save that. But what not creating a timeline will do is that you don't have it, you just know at the back of your mind that you want to learn the skill, which is what most of us do. We have an end point, but we don't know the structure, or we don't know the steps to take. So we don't break down the vision we have in mind. We don't write down the things that we need to do. So you just assume that, okay, the money will come. Yes, the money might come, but best believe if you don't have it in mind, the money will come and then you use it for something else. So what creating a timeline will do to achieve your goals is that it makes you accountable to yourself. But if you don't have a timeline, there's a chance that you will just follow people, you follow trends. So and then you start comparing yourself. Then there's one person that is earning 500,000 naira monthly. Person is staying with their parents, eating free food, and they can just pay for that particular thing at once that you are saving up for 10 months. But because you have not created your own standard for yourself, and you have not created a timeline, then you are easily swayed. So that's basically what having an unstable identity will do. You are just tossed to and fro by every wind of trend. Today you are there, tomorrow you are here, and then at the end of the day, they don't add any value to you, because you don't. It does not align with who you are. So it's good to adjust and make use of changing opportunities. To be honest, there are some things that when you are seeing them, this is an opportunity, and then you have to milk it. I'm not against that, but you won't be off track if you understand and know who you are. So you know that if people are using a particular trend to achieve a purpose, you are also using that particular trend with a purpose in mind. So you are directing that particular engagement to your focus. So people can be dancing to a particular song just because you want to win maybe a giveaway or something, but you are dancing to that particular song because you want to drive engagement to make sales on your own page. So what that will do is you will not just randomly jump on a trend and just dance to it because people are dancing to it. But because you are coming from a place of clarity, you are able to know that, okay, this opportunity needs to be I need to jump on this opportunity to achieve this particular thing. So that's why um from a place of clarity, you need to come from a place of clarity. And then the clarity checklist that I have here. So before you do a project, you just need to know, what exactly do I need to do? What's the desired outcome? Why does it matter? What's the deadline? Like I mentioned, give yourself a timeline. You want to learn a course, give yourself a timeline. You want to launch a product, and then you need to do maybe get the products, get vendors, get people to buy, do a giveaway. Give yourself a timeline. The resources that are needed, write it out. You want to, you are a student, you need to get a particular result, or you need to host a particular event. What are the resources that you need? Write it out. So I handled a particular project recently, and I made a very big mistake. And the reason why I made that mistake is because I did not write that particular thing in my to-do list. And it was something that, if not for like if not for people that helped me out in that minutes, it would have, the whole thing that I even focused on would have flopped. So these are things that don't just put it in your head. That's why I said we should come with our notepads. A lot of us, we have ideas, we just have it flowing in our head. It's not documented. It's not we are not writing it down. What are the resources that you need? As little as pen. If you want to go and read at night, if it is chewing gum that will keep you awake, if it is chewing gum that will keep you awake, write it. I need a gum. I need to buy gums. I need to buy sweets. Write it down. Write the resources that you need. Write the risks and the constraints. So basically, what risks and constraints is, what are the things that will not make me achieve this particular result? If I want to launch a product, what are the things that will not make me to achieve these results? You want to host a program. What are the things that will not make me to achieve these results? Write it down, and then write a backup plan, or write how you can mitigate these risks, things that you can do to avoid these risks. Write it down. Then write who is responsible for whatever it is you are doing. So, and what responsibility, what identifier will be responsible for what will help us to know to do is that when you assign a particular task, when you write a particular task out, if it's a personal project, it means you are responsible for that project. But if it's a general project, it means that you are going to be answering to someone, or people will be answering to you. So if you're a project manager, for example, you have people that are handling multiple parts of that project, and then they are responsible for that particular project. Write it out. So let the social media manager know that if we don't have this particular result, we don't have our content posted, you are responsible for this part. Don't just assume that they know. Write it out. If you know that you are doing a group study, you are doing a group project in school, and this particular person is responsible for creating slides, and that person is responsible for the presentation, write it out. Okay, if this presentation flops, you are responsible for it. If this slide does not come out nice, you are responsible for it. So these are things that you also need to do. So this is like a clarity checklist. When one thing comes to mind, when an idea comes to mind, you break it down. And then clarity is not a place to overthink. I think that's one of the things that people miss out. So you have a particular idea, and then you overthink that idea. You don't know. The only thing that you're looking at are the problems, and then you don't take any action. And then before you know it, maybe 2 months after or 2 years after, you're like, oh, you see someone doing exactly the same thing, and you're like, I had this idea first, or this same idea, this exact thing came to mind. So, and that's why I said clarity has to be an identity. It's not something that you have to, when a little idea now comes to mind, maybe you want to promote a particular product, then you now have to overthink it. No, when it's already an identity, when it flows naturally from you, you know that it's easy for you to launch in the direction to do what you have to do. So that's basically it. So let's go to optimization, which is the main part of this exercise, because what optimization will do is that it helps us with systems that are daily habits, routines, and structures that we can follow to be able to achieve the results that we have. So between clarity and optimization, between clarity and execution, the bridge between clarity and execution is basically optimization. So what optimization means is basically structures, systems, time organization, leveraging people and relationships, and then creating efficiency. So you optimize what you have, whatever stage it is that you have. Please, can we still hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right. So these systems and structure, they are basically what you do every day or consistently. So let me give an example. When I was a student, so I went to medical school, and then there is this in course that we always do, which is over 30, and then our exams are usually over 70. And because as a student, I was a fashion designer, event planner, and I was in multiple organizations and fellowships serving. And I knew that, okay, I still need to be serious, because one thing my dad would tell me is, you can do anything you want to do, but you see that school I sent you to, just come out in flying colors. So what I do is, in course is usually like maybe at most 50% of what they will teach us in the whole semester, because it's usually before the end of the semester that we do in courses. So the plan that I have put in place is that in any of my in course, my target is to score nothing less than 25. Because if my in course is 50% of what I'm reading for a course, it means that maybe out of 8 lecturers, only 4 lecturers have taught us at the time of my in course. I make sure that I read every single thing the 4 lecturers will teach, and I also have a target for my course. So you see my reading notes, you see R1, R2, and then I'll write I. I is in course. It means that for a particular topic, I have to read it twice before the in course. And this is because I know that I have a lot of things that I love to do. Currently, I'm not even really using what I went to school for here. But I know that if I don't pass these exams well, it will hinder me from doing what I love to do, because then my dad will tell me, okay, you have to drop all these things that you are doing and focus on your studies. So what I just basically did was put structures in place. The structure is very simple. Just read a particular topic 3 times to enter the exam for your in course. Enter the in course. Time organization. It might look like these things are big. We are going to break it down, yes. But these are things that little habits, doing them daily and consistently, will in no time get you the results that you have in mind and that you want. So, and then we're looking at 6 different areas. There are more areas than this, but we're going to be focusing on 6 areas of optimization. I know I don't have much time, but I'll just try to like rush it. So optimization, like I said, is a bridge between your ideas and your results. So it helps you to reduce the friction to execution and also simplify your efforts. It makes executing anything you want to do easier and faster. So we're going to time optimization. So optimization. So now every single person on this call has 24 hours. Whether you are a billionaire's son or you are a millionaire's daughter, everyone has 24 hours. But then we all have 24 hours. But if they give us the same task, some of us will do well with it than others. So we have 24 hours, but how well we are able to use our different time, how well we are able to manage our time will actually yield to different results. We actually yield different results. So time is something that people casualize about. People casualize the 24 hours in a day. They casualize it. So if I ask someone on this call that, did you plan what you use your time for today? Did you plan what you use it to do? Apart from times when impromptu things will come up, and then you have to attend to them. They are urgent and important at that time. But like, tomorrow is Sunday. Have you sat down to actually plan your time? The 24 hours you have tomorrow, the time for sleep, the time to do anything that you have to do. Have you planned it? I know we might say no, but then that's where some of the problem comes from. So we know that we have to achieve a particular goal, and then we have not even delegated hours to it. So you want to become an expert in a particular project or in a particular task. Okay, maybe you are a graphics designer and you are just learning. Have you actually assigned tasks? Have you actually assigned time rather to what you have to do every day to become an expert in this design? Or you just do it based on vibes, when the inspiration comes? There's a place for that actually, and that's where optimization of energy comes in. When you are at your peak levels, but then time is basically, so what time we do for you is that, so when you wake up in the morning and you put 7 to 8 prayer, then 8 to 9 you put cook food or make breakfast, 9 to 10 go to work, 10 to 5 you're at work, or maybe in between your break period you assign another task. So what that we do is, when you wake up in the morning, you wake up by 7. If you don't feel like praying, you will still pray. Do you know why you will pray? Because you know that once it's 8 o'clock, you've written it out. What I mean written it out is you have to write it out, because most of us, what we do is we have it in our head. We have everything we want to do in our head. It's not written out. You don't have a to-do list. You don't have a notepad where you organize your time. It's just going to be scattered, and then you forget important things. So what you do is, when you write these things out, when you wake up by 7 and you don't feel like praying, when you remember that on your to-do list 7 to 8 is prayer, and then you have your time allocated to every other thing, you will want to pray immediately. But when you don't have time allocated to other tasks, what you will do is you'll be like, I'll pray by 10 or I'll pray by 9. You postpone it. And the reason why you postpone it is because you don't have anything fixed for that particular time. Can we hear me? All right. Okay, so we know that everyone, no matter how rich you are, influential you are, you will be forever entitled to 24 hours. And what you have to know is that you will never spend it the same way. Looking at that person that you admire at your place of work, that student that you admire in school, you are not spending your time the same way. So structuring your day so that your time will align with your priorities and not just based on impulse or based on vibes is what you need to do. So the things that you can do to actually optimize your time, I've mentioned one is time blocking. So what time blocking does is that you assign time slots to different categories of tasks. For example, it might not be maybe 7 to 8, 8 to 9, whatever. I don't usually do that. What I do is I assign a time frame. So if I want to study my Bible, I put maybe 2 hours. Then if I want to watch a movie, I put 1 hour, 30 minutes or thereabouts. Because some of these movies, episodes, you see that if you don't have a time, if you don't allocate a time, before you you'll finish the whole season in that day. So fun times, hang out, responding to social media messages, serious moments, consultation, anything that is serious, things that are fun. Because you're optimizing your time does not mean you should, not have fun times. But what this will do is that someone will just randomly call you and tell you, I want to take you out at a particular time. Now, I understand the place of, we're still going to talk about people and relationship. There are some times that you have to shift. You have to make room for certain things because of the value that you are going to get from them. But when it just comes to people randomly telling you things and then you allow it, they will continue. So there was a time in school when if my roommates should tell me, oh, we want to do this, I'm like, I already have something fixed. I already have something fixed for that time. I won't be available. And they're like, every time you have something fixed. Yes, I have something fixed, but you see that over time, before they bring anything to you, what they will do is that they will ask you, Elizabeth, please, are you available at this time to do this? So you see that if you don't respect your time, people won't respect it. So you have to, what time blocking will do is that it makes people respect your time, and they know that they can't just mess with your time. You can be flexible, yes, but you will never be scattered. You'll never be random, and then you lay on your bed in a day, and then after the day's work, and then you're like, what did I even use today? What did I do today? What did I use my time for? It won't happen to you, because before you step out in the day, you already blocked your time, you already assigned tasks to your time, and then you are not scattered. So even if you have to be flexible to allow some things, it will be a personal decision. Like, it's not just going to be that that person just imposed it on you, or you just found yourself randomly doing certain things. It will be because, okay, I allowed this, it was intentional. So it will not be like at the end of the day you're like, why did I waste my time doing a particular thing? So if you don't allocate your time well, these are things that will happen. So you just see that you are being scattered, you are doing random things that do not align with your purpose. So another way you can also optimize your time is weekly planning. So if you know that the daily planning would maybe will not work for you, you can start with weekly plan. So before your week begins, just write out maybe like 3 major tasks that you have to achieve that week, and give yourself a deadline. Like, okay, before Wednesday I have to achieve this, before Thursday I have to achieve this, before Friday I have to achieve this. And then you are open to review or accountability. So accountability does not necessarily mean you have to tell someone exactly everything you are doing. So what I do in school when I was studying, let me just, because I know we have some students here, so that's why I'm trying to use these examples. So what we do is I tell someone that at the end of the week, that do you mind doing revision? Like, I'm probably saying this on a Monday, and trust me, I've not read that topic. Do you mind us doing a revision on Saturday? Maybe just do past question on this particular topic. And the person said, oh, says yes. So what I do is, I know that if I suggested revision, and if I'm going to go and do a revision with someone on Saturday, it means I have to read that topic before Saturday. So I did not have to tell the person that, oh, please make sure that I read this topic before Saturday. Let me be accountable to you. So some of us, we need to know how to, let people, like, to be accountable to people without, you don't need to tell people exactly what you're doing, but there's a way you say it that they know that, okay, by this time I'm expecting this person to deliver this certain result. So that's basically what weekly planning also do. Then daily prioritization. You identify your top 3 tasks that you have to do before the end of the day every morning. So this helps you to avoid morning confusion and randomness. So let's go to energy optimization. So what energy optimization will do is that it helps you to determine your output more than your time. So we have people that they work best at night, and the people that work best at night maybe because maybe during the day they have kids running around, or they live in a noisy environment, and then the quietness at night just helps them to achieve better. So you need to know the time that works best for you. So doing the right tasks at the right energy level. So what you do is, when you identify your peak hours, so let's assume that before the end of today, what I want to achieve, I have 3 major tasks I want to achieve. It means that if my peak hour is in the morning, like when I wake up in the morning, that's when my brain is at its best. I can, deliver anything. I can do everything that I want to do. So what I do is that those 3 tasks, even if I'm not going to achieve all 3 that morning, I will achieve at least 2 that is most important. So it means that you are matching your tasks to the energy time of the day. So it is not just about maybe allocating time. So you don't now allocate random times. Maybe after work, when you have been stuck in traffic for 3 hours, That's when you are now saying when you get home, you want to start designing. Inspiration will not come. Not because you have not allocated time to that task, but because you did not put it at your peak hour. So it might be maybe after watching a football match, you are ready. Don't put after watching a football match, because I know some guys when their club will lose like this, they will not be at their best. But basically what you do is that you match an important task to your peak hours. That's what you do. So task optimization, please can we hear me? Please, I want us to unmute and respond. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so currently I would like to know if anyone has any question. If you have any question or you don't want to unmute, you can just type it in the chat box. Okay, so I guess no one has any question for now. All right. Don't worry, we'll soon get to the part where we'll have to do class work. Okay, so task of optimization, please let's be writing. I know my slide is not so detailed, but I believe we can hear me and then we can jot down the things that are important. So basically, task optimization is where you simplify and structure the work that you want to do. Okay, so let's actually use let's use a practical example. So is there anyone here that has a project coming up? Might be anything, maybe business, personal projects that we can use as a practical example for what we are learning. You can just type it in the chat box, or should I call names? Or what is the most important thing for 2026? I know some of us have already written our new year resolution. Maybe you want to launch your business, or you want to get your job, or become more interested, or take personal branding seriously. Please, I'm waiting. Oh, nobody. Should I call names?
Hello, good evening.
Good
I
evening.
didn't get the question well.
Okay, so I said the question is, do you have a particular task or a particular project that you want to achieve? Maybe like a project, can be any project actually. So I just want someone to mention so we can use that as a practical example as we move on. So we'll help you break it down. In fact, I'm even helping you save. Break it down. Break down the tasks, the things that you need to do, and how you can achieve the results that you want.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
All right.
Yes,
All
I
right.
can.
Good evening. Okay.
You can speak. Victor, you can speak. We can use two examples. So Victor first, then Hope you can speak after Victor.
Okay, so I'm a graphic designer
All right.
and I'm working on designing Christmas flyer for the company I work with and also for my church, and hopefully I'll be designing some other designs just for personal skill sharpening and all. So I think if we can work with that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Hope, what about you? So I work with Victor's zone. Then Hope, let me hear you. Let me hear what you have to say.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, can I be heard?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please. So I work with Ofe Microfinance Bank. So basically, I want to change because I want more, and I've already enrolled for a skill cybersecurity, and it will last for the next 4 months in January 2020. So I plan that before July next year, I want to get another job. That's part of my plan. I don't know if I can work with that.
Okay. So the job you intend to get, is it on cybersecurity?
Huh?
I said the new job you intend to get, is it on cybersecurity?
Yes, just related
Okay.
work
All
in that
right.
space.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to be using these 6 areas of optimization, and let me just break it down using what Victor has mentioned, and then I'll go to Hope. Okay, so for Victor, graphics designer that wants to design Christmas designs, Christmas, so Christmas is in 20 is in how many days time? Christmas is in 12 days. So it means that's the first thing that will come to mind, that okay, the timeline is okay. If Christmas is in 25 days, let's assume that all designs have to be ready. Rather, 12 days. Let's assume all designs have to be ready in 10 days, so that that gives room for maybe review, additions, or any other thing that you need to do to the design. So you have 10 days to do this particular design. So now, then you want to also do personal designs to sharpen your skills. So I think we can start with that, because we know that if your skills on that particular design or type of design is well sharpened, you'll be able to deliver your best to your clients or to people that you are designing for. So what you will do is, now we have 10 days to deliver all these things. I don't know how many people you are designing for. Well, let's assume you are designing for 5 persons. Now, this particular structure I'm putting in place is not exactly how you should do it. And let me tell you why. I already mentioned that you need to be the one to put a timeline for yourself, because you understand how fast you work. Because, for example, I can put 1 design per day, and maybe normally you can design up to 5. But I'm just giving you a step by step. I'm giving you a step to how you can actually structure and achieve the results you want to achieve. So let's assume you are working for 5 clients. You also have your own personal skill sharpening that you want to do. And all of this, we have to do it and achieve everything in 10 days. So we have already mentioned the time frame for what we want to do. So the time is that we have 10 days. The remaining 2 days, we are making it open for reviews, adjustments, or whatever it is that maybe the clients will want to add or remove. So now, when it comes to energy, if you have another job, maybe you are a 9 to 5, you do a 9 to 5, or you work somewhere else, it means that you now need to know that, okay, my energy time, when do you work best? Okay, I think I should let Victor answer this. Victor, when is the best time you work? Is it at night, in the morning, afternoon, or evening? You can unmute and answer.
Okay, well, personally, I can't say I really have a time that I work best, but I would say that morning work best for me, like
Okay.
early in the morning.
Okay. All right. So let's assume that we are working with morning. Morning works best for you, and that does not mean that you can't work any other time of the day. So what energy level does is that the most important task that day, just assign it to the time, like I mentioned, assign it to the time that you are most active. So now let's assume that we are doing it in the morning. So it means that on your calendar for that day, or for this next 10 days, from 9 to 5, you are putting morning, so that you are able to achieve these designs or design these things in the morning. So let's use the first 4 days for skill sharpening. So at the end of that day, now you will write it down. So now we know our tasks. We've allocated time. We've allocated time. So the time is in 10 days, we have to finish all these designs. The next 2 days, we make these designs available for sharpen our for review and everything. The first 4 days in the 10 days for all the designs, you are sharpening your skills. And it's also possible that you start working on some clients' work already, but you are focusing mainly on your skills. This is an example. Then the remaining 6 days, you are designing the work for your client. So that's the time. We have mentioned your energy level. That's in the morning. Now, the tasks. Now, when we want to optimize your tasks, what you do now is at the end of each day, I should have achieved this. I should have designed maybe on the days where you have to sharpen your skills or whatever. At the end of Monday, I should have designed 2 flyers, maybe using this particular concept or templates. So you write it out, you write what you have to achieve, so that on Monday, let's imagine that you are not able to finish that task on Monday. You know that there's going to be a carryover to Tuesday, or maybe to another day that you have maybe lesser designs to do. And the reason why I am putting sharpening your skills first, there's a reason. It's not because you cannot start with your client, but because you also need to know that the ones that you are doing, that you are designing personally, are things that can get you more clients, that can get you more jobs. Okay, a client comes and then they're okay, what have you done before? I don't know if that's how design works, but in my own field, that's how it works. Most times they want to see what you have done before. Victor, is that how graphic design works?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that way they are able to trust that okay, this person can deliver. So it means that because you are just sharpening your skills does not mean you should take it lightly. Because oh, nobody's going to see it, maybe nobody's going to see it. That can get you more jobs, and that can also increase and boost the confidence and trust of your clients in you. So you are also putting all your best and energy. So now let's go to tools. Tools is the first thing on our areas of optimization. What are the things that you need? Do you need constant light? Do you need, if there's no constant light, where can you charge your devices? What are the apps that you need? Do you need to subscribe to maybe certain features on a particular app that you use? Or do you need to maybe have a book where you draw the inspiration that you have? Or do you need to download images? So these are the things that most times we just have it in our head that, okay, I want to design. But I know that as a graphic designer, it will be easier for you because maybe you're already designing. But for me, let's assume I'm starting as a graphic designer now. I would really need to actually write out every single thing that I need to do. And when you're writing out your tools, that's where you can see the constraints that you need. So if you write number 1, uninterrupted power supply, and then you live in an area where the power supply is not frequent, you know that, okay, there has to be something that you have to do something about it. If you're a social media manager, you always have to be online and you don't always have lights. It means you know that, okay, if I cannot get lights, one thing that I need to get is maybe get a power bank, get a plan B, so that in case this will flop, this will still work. So that's basically what tools will do for you. Write out every single thing that you need to achieve the results that you need to achieve, including even if it has to include uploading all the designs that you will do to sharpen your skills. Upload it in a Google Drive so that every client that now comes to you that, oh, I want to design whatever, you can easily send it to them. So it makes you organized and you are not scattered. So you already have a place where you save all your templates, you save all your own designs, and then you send it to them. So that's part of tools. So then environment is basically the things in your environment that can either increase your efficiency or decrease your efficiency. So, for example, morning might not work for some people. Maybe because they have to take the children to school, they have children around, or maybe they have to go to work, or it might be something else. So you just need to study your environment. When are the times that you are able to do the things that you have to do? So you know that, okay, it might mean that maybe that particular Monday, morning might be your best time, but that particular Monday, you just need to shift the work that you have to do tonight. And then most times when I go to visit some family members, my schedule might actually shift. I'm somebody that I work best at night. I work best in the morning rather. But I know that when I'm visiting some people, I will have to shift my schedule to working at night. And so I'm not going to now wake up. I'm not going to now be blaming myself at the end of the day that oh, this throughout this morning or throughout today, I did not do anything. I'm just doing house chores. I'm just washing plates. Those things are necessary. You need to do it. Nobody will do it for you. But what I would do is that I've studied my environment. I know that okay, this thing, this particular thing is peculiar to this environment. So I have to shift my focus, shift my time and energy to a particular time of the night. So I know that at night, all my courses that I need to listen to that day, I listen to it in the night. So what your environment does is that it makes you to, how do I put it, to remove maybe any distraction, and that even in the face of distraction, you are able to still navigate through. So that's what environment does. And then people. So I don't know how people can come in with Victor, but I think people can come in when I'm going to be speaking with O. So what people don't know is that you need to know how to leverage your relationships. Nobody can do anything alone. So even if it means telling your friends that are maybe, okay, let me give an example. So Hope wants to get a job by June in cybersecurity. It means that by January, people that work in companies that they might need cybersecurity, she's already making friends with them. So and this is, I'm not trying to say that now when you want to make friends with people, you try to make friends with them because you want to use them. No, it's a healthy relationship. So you are giving them value and they're also giving you value. You have to be someone of value, basically. So what you do is, okay, if you have to get a job in a particular, what I do is on LinkedIn, if I want to get a job, I've not gotten a job on LinkedIn. Yes, but I'll tell you what I did before I got a job as a project manager. What I did is that, okay, I know that it's not just about posting consistently about project management on LinkedIn. People that need my job need to see me. Do you understand? So do you know what I did? The companies that I'm interested in, I start following everybody working there. I follow their HR. You go on Google. See, go on Google. That company wants to work with. Browse it. Who is the MD of this company? Even if the details of the MD is not there, the details of assistant MD or whoever or HR will be there. Follow them on LinkedIn. Like all their posts. Let them see you somehow. So this is how you optimize people. So I think I'm done with Victor. Victor, do you have any question? So I can move to Hope and then.
No.
All right. I hope I've been able to also answer the question. I hope I've been able to help you.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
All right. So now let's move to Hope. So Hope, if I'm right, I think I remember that you want to learn. Are you currently learning cybersecurity or you're about to start? Which one?
I'm about to start. I already enrolled for the course, so the class will start by next year, ending of January.
Okay, the class will start ending of January. Okay, now I like the fact that you personally already have a time frame. You already have a time frame that July. So one thing that time frame will do for you now is that it will be around that period where you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve. It can be earlier because you have a time frame you're working with. Or even if worse will come to worse, it will not pass. What's the month after July? Maybe August. And that's because you have a target. And we know that there are times that maybe certain risks or certain constraints will come in. But what that will do for you is that no matter the constraints or the risks that is attached to that, you will be able to, because you have a focus in mind, you'll still be able to find your way through it. Compared to someone that does not have a time frame, and then they'll be like, oh, I applied to this company and I got rejected. I will try again in maybe in 2 months' time. But because Hope already has that in July, she has to get this job. She'll continue to apply. She'll continue to seek for opportunities. She'll continue to tell people that she needs that I do this particular thing. Why? Because so that's going to be the difference. Okay, and I'll be able to send. I will send the slides to the group after the call. I'll send the slides to the group, and they will also be getting the recording of the class. All right, so that's what's going to happen is Hope already has a timeline, a time frame. So Now, what are the things? Now, let's break it down. We already have a time frame. Great. We already have, I don't know how energy can come in place. Maybe, I don't know if it's a live class or you have to always listen to the recording of that class. But basically, what that will do for you now is, if you are someone that you currently have a job, so if your job is not in line with what you intend to go into, you need to know that, okay, maybe after work might not be the best time, because after work you have to prepare dinner, you have to settle down, and maybe every other thing. So maybe when you are settled, maybe before you sleep, 3 hours before you sleep or 3 hours into the night, you're able to listen to the recording of that class and practice it. So that's what, maybe how you can manage your energy for that particular task that you have in mind. So now when you have to do your task, you have to break it down. So when you break it down, you realize the first thing that you are doing is that you are making proper research about your course or about what you want to venture into. Not most times we have something beautiful in mind, and people that are currently in that job are seeing a lot of shaggy, but because we don't make proper research about it and it's just interesting and the name sounds nice, we want to venture into it. So what that even does for you is that you have it in mind that even before you start this course, you already have an idea. You made your research, you have an idea about the course, and then you know that, okay, before the end of this class, before the end of this class, you already have your energy and your knowledge is targeted towards what the problem in that industry is. So I'll give an example. So when I was taking my project management courses, I noticed that a lot of people were asking questions about, what if you have to manage a project for a difficult course? What if you have to? Most of those questions might be stemmed from maybe what they have heard or what they have experienced personally. But because I did not make any research about the course. I just liked the name of the course. I stumbled on it, and then I just started. It's something that I love doing now. Yeah, but because I did not make proper research. Now, when I now finished that class and I started dealing with difficult people that I have to deal with them because they're in the project, I now have to go back to the class recording to listen to the solutions that my class teachers mentioned in class. But I was not paying attention to it because I did not know anything, no background knowledge. So what that will also help you do is, the kind of industries that require this, that hire these people. You know where you can work, you know the value system that you are creating. So that one alone is already making you know that these are the things that needs to be on your CV. So when I was also looking for a job in project management, I know that I did not have the skills that I was seeing in most of the CVs, but I was making a screenshot, and I know that. So now it means that, because there's no job that you will get, and then the only thing you see on that job is just the knowledge of that thing. You will not see a job that will just put cybersecurity when you just have knowledge of cybersecurity and come. They will always have maybe proficiency in English. Well, what you just do is, you want to get a job in July, start looking for job openings in cybersecurity. You have not finished the course, yes. Look for it. So when you see the requirements that they are asking for, somehow before July, your mind is tailored to the fact that I have to have this particular tax. I have to have this particular thing. So when I started checking job openings on project management, then I was seeing that they will ask you about proficiency in, or maybe you have to know how to use Asana, Trello, project management tools. And they only taught us how to use 2 project management tools in my class. So I have to know, okay, I know that, okay, now I have to sit down with University of YouTube, watch on these particular courses, watch how to use these particular apps, watch how to use time management apps, and all those things. So by the time I am adding it to my CV, it will not just be that I'm capping. Everything is going to be there, because by the time I'm ready to apply for a job, I already have, if not everything, I have 70% of the things that you need for me for that job. Yes. So then tools is basically, if your class is going to be online throughout, you need data. So you know that if it's to not download movies for that period, and then just focus on downloading your classes depending on the platform. My own platform was YouTube, so I know that, yes, I needed light because the classes were usually live and it's for 3 hours. and then I needed class, I needed data, I needed light. So on Friday, I won't use my phone because I'm not sure that there will be light maybe on Saturday. And then at that point, I didn't have a power bank. So I'll make sure that I preserve my battery at least 70%. When I wake up, and then when the class is over, I can do anything I want to do with my phone. So that these are things that you write down. And then when you are writing tools down, then you now come to, okay, I don't have this particular thing. How can I source for it? How can I get it? If I'm not able to get it for myself, where can I get it? Maybe you have, that's where people come in place. So there's somebody on your street, or there's a cyber cafe on your street that maybe they have a laptop. Just go and they have a system. Just go and tell them, please, can I use your system for a particular amount of time or something? So even if it's to write, maybe write the exam, maybe I don't know if it's a certification course that you have to write the exam at the end of the course. So these are things that will help you. And then people, like I've mentioned, I've already explained how people will come in place. So even if it is volunteering roles, so the current job that I have in project management, I got it from volunteering for someone. So there was a finance webinar that the person hosted, and then I just finished my course maybe like 2 weeks, and I've not even written the exam for that course, but I needed to apply what I've learned. So the person posted on her status, she's hosting a webinar. I entered the person's there, please, you need a project manager. She was like, oh, I'll get back to you. Then she got back to me later and said, what does project management mean? So I have to now explain what I would even do. Like, most people might not know why they need you. So, but in reaching out to them, because for me, I've heard of cybersecurity a lot. I have some friends doing it, but as a business owner, I don't know why I need cybersecurity. So you have to tell me. Do you understand? So even if I don't need at this current stage of my business or whatever, I might know somebody that will need it and then refer you. So that's basically where people come in. So you know how to leverage on relationships. That's why some of us that might have bad behavior might need to change. So that people are able to. And then one thing about bad behavior is that some people that know that when you deliver a result, they will still want to work with you, because some people are bent on having its results and excellence, but they will know that character is what will keep you. So that's also not an excuse to have a terrible character. So you know how to leverage your time, your energy, your tasks, tools, environment, and people. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Hope.
Yes, ma. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So I'm just going to be going to the next part where our time is already fast spent. Okay. So and then on leveraging relationships. So another thing I want to talk about is on them volunteering and collaborating. So we know that at a certain stage it might look like you are not getting the value that you want. For example, I told you that I got the job. The first project management this I did was free. But from there, I was able to get one that was paid. And I've been able to also I've worked with, I think I volunteered for that role in July. Then just this year, I've gotten like maybe 4 paid jobs on project management from that same person. So I worked with one person, she referred me to another person, she referred me to another person. So, and then it might not even be volunteering, it might be collaborating. So maybe you are just starting up, maybe as a photographer or something, you need to collaborate with the makeup artist that already has, just tell them, please, your next model or your next this, let me just come and shoot. And then what you just need to do is just tag me on Instagram or something. So some of these things might not pay you the value that you have firsthand. But what people are able to see, when they are able to see that you deliver excellent results, trust me, it will yield something tangible. Yes. So then try new methods. It does not have to be what you already know. New tools, new processes, new leverage on AI, use ChatGPT, use it well, Sha. Use it with sense, because some people are using it and then it's not just but basically learn. You are open to learning, and that's where tools come in place. When you don't write out the things that you need, you will just go through that process, and then you just see that the result that you are getting is not what you intend to do. So if the tool that you need to do is learn a new tool to design, or learn a particular skill that can give you leverage over every other person that will be applying for cyber security. So you see that you are learning cyber security in January, and then you are trying to apply for jobs in July. What are the things that will make you stand out above every other applicant? What are the things that will give you leverage? There are some people that are going to be in cybersecurity for 5 years and they will be applying for the same role. So what is it that you have that will make you stand out above them? So that the things that you have to write out and review. Yes, so we've actually come to the end of the class, because the end of this class is actually execution. And trust me, execution is easy. What makes execution easy is clarity and optimization. Once you're able to get to cross these two bridges, execution is going to be flawless. So optimization helps you to build habits, to build the habits on how to manage your time, build the habits on how to do this thing. So when you get to execution, those habits already become a part of you. So execution is basically doing the right things consistently. So you are able to do it consistently, and then these are just some of the reasons why people don't execute, and most of it actually stem from lack of clarity and optimization. Now, overthinking is a problem of lack of clarity, because you are overthinking it because you are not sure you should do this. Does this align? There's a place where you actually have to think on certain decisions before making them. Yes, but what you will not do is overthink. Then you now overthink it. The only thing you are seeing is the problem in it. The only thing you are seeing is how you will not achieve it. Before you know it, you give up on that particular thing. Most times, what you just need to do is take a leap of faith. You don't have a laptop yet. Yes, apply for that course. When you apply for the scholarship. When you get the scholarship, when you are qualified for the scholarship, then you can now start thinking of laptop. But what most of us will do is, oh, I don't have a laptop. Oh, we don't have lights. What if I apply for this? We don't have this. You're only looking at the problem. You are not taking steps. So another thing is fear, lack of structure, distraction. So lack of structure, you see that's one of the problems of not having good optimization. Distraction is a problem of maybe your environment or people. So when you are able to optimize these particular things well, you don't have a problem. No accountability. Like I said, you don't need to tell everybody exactly what you are doing. There's a way you will say it. Let me just give an example. So there's a particular time where in school, I noticed that I was not being consistent with prayer, and I needed to pray at a particular time every day, maybe for a period of time. So I did not have to tell my roommates that, oh, I want to be praying this particular time for this number of hours. What I just did was I just told them that, please, if you see me on the bed between this time and this time, just ask me a simple question: why are you here? So what that would do is that I don't have any other place in the school. I have some other friends' place, but it was like very early in the morning by 5 a.m. So I can't be going to my friend's room when they're sleeping. Do you understand? So when they will see me in the morning and they're like, because some of my roommates read very early in the morning, like, Elizabeth, why are you doing here? If you said we see in the room, I just and I pack. Even when I'm tired that day, I just pack my bag and I go to pray. So I don't need to tell them that, oh, I just want to be praying by that particular time of the day. Sometimes you don't want to, mention all the details that are in your plan or your task. But there's a way you say it that people can hold you accountable for when you are drifting off course. So, and then poor time habits, like we said, that's also a problem of optimization of time. No accountability. So now the start small rule is that this brings us to task decomposition. So you have a big task in mind. So let me use OPS project as an example again. Let me use OPS project as an example. So what OPS project to do is that so what OPS project to do is that Hope knows that by July she needs to achieve a particular thing. It means that she needs to know, maybe after her course in January, she needs to find people that are doing that particular, people that are already cyber. I don't know where you find them, maybe LinkedIn, maybe Instagram start following them, start seeing the things they post, start seeing the channels they watch, start seeing other people that they follow. So you are doing your own research. You write it down. January, do research. February, start telling people about your course or about what you have learned. So it might be something as simple as open a LinkedIn profile, because most of these people that you apply for jobs, you will see that in most applications they will tell you to put in your LinkedIn profile, and then that will also be an issue when you don't have LinkedIn profile. And then the reason why you will not know that they hacks is because you've not made your research to know the kind of skills that are required for this particular job. So when I noticed that I was trying to apply for a particular job, and then I'm seeing that almost all of them are telling me to put LinkedIn profile. Okay, I'm still learning that course, but as I'm learning that course, that's a proper time for me to open LinkedIn. Today, they're teaching us about Asana, how to use Asana in project management. It might be something little, that might something little, I put it on ChatGPT. What I've learned in that class, I type it, ChatGPT. Please help me to enhance what I've learned, put it in proper English and structure. ChatGPT will answer me. Then I go to LinkedIn, I put it there. Now, at that particular time, nobody will know that I am still learning project management, or I'm just 8 weeks into a course of 30 weeks. Nobody will know except I mention it there. But what that would do is that in the next 6 months, when I'm able to apply for a job, I already have a track record. So probably, most likely, your algorithm will be shown to people that have the same particular are in the same field with you. So it means that somehow you are either following other project managers, or project managers are also following you. Why? Because you're offering value. So when you know some of these things, when you break these things down, so the start small principle is you avoid big heavy tasks. Break it down, break it into micro tasks, 5-minute steps, quick wins, and all those things. Just break it down. So yeah, so that brings us to the end of the class. I don't know if anyone has any question or anything they would like to add, or anything that you want me to mention.
All right, good evening. Please, can I go on?
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you so much for the class. So my question would be, you've actually answered some parts of my question, but I would need a further breakdown or clarification, please. And that is, if you are currently learning something that's like the course that you took is not really providing an avenue for you to practice while taking the course, like they're just teaching you the theory, and after the course, like you've even taken a number of those courses, but it's not really practical. Sorry, what did you say?
Okay, I'm listening. I'm
All
listening.
right. Okay, so it's not really practical, and you've actually mentioned that one of the ways to practice this is by volunteering, entering people's DM, positioning yourself. But I would just really appreciate it if you can break it down further and be more explicit about the process. Thank you.
Okay, so if I get your question right, you're asking how you can maybe work with something that is not practical, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you give, like, do you mind sharing what it is? So I'm not just vague in my response.
All right. So I've taken some series of financial courses, but during the course they don't like give you avenue for you to practice with it. So it's just okay, maybe after the course, like you practice it maybe yourself or with your family or with friends. But when it comes to like volunteering and also maybe reaching out to people. So what will the process be like? Seems like finance is also a quite touchy thing that people can
Yes,
want to be careful about. Yeah. Did you get my question?
okay. Yes, I do. Okay. So now, You already mentioned that you can easily access maybe your friends or family on it. So what you can do now is you just have to look at your environment. Don't look at big. Don't look at, okay, Dami, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer your question. So what you will do is that don't look at big people or big organizations yet. So now it can be your close friend. It might not even be a big business that she's doing. Maybe the only thing that she's doing is she's selling a perfume oil. Let me use that as an example. And you know how these days it's easy for people to, especially people that don't have maybe business accounts. For startups generally, they um they use both their personal accounts and then their business accounts, and then they just onboard everything together. So you approach this person and then you just tell the person. So you're not first telling the person the value that you want to offer first, because most people are, like you said, finance is a very delicate matter. They might not open up. It's just a random conversation. So it might be something as little as you are asking me for maybe you want to purchase perfume oil of 600 naira from me, and then I give you my Wema bank account that carries my name, not the name of my business. If the person is like close to you, a conversation can start from there. Oh, so is this your business account? No, it's not my business account. Oh, I just use this account to collect money from my business. And then can ask the person, so how do you actually now know the profit? How do you I don't spend anything that I see there, as long as when it's time for me to restock my process and my business and my products, I get money. So you already know the kind of problem that this person has. So when you are now going to offer your solution will be tailored around the problem that that particular person has. So now we can be two different business owners and that need two different that have different financial problems. So you are coming to me, you are making sure that what you are giving to me is tailored to what is going to help me, basically. So when you are able to do that particular one, you are probably, maybe you've created a template for us to be able to track our expenses, inflow and outflow. This particular template can even be your own created template that you can use for any business owner. So something like that, it might not be something big, but it's something practical. And then if I'm going to maybe when you come to maybe bigger people now, then you're able to tell them that, okay, you're able to do this, and that for this particular person. And then you also need to list out the things that are not making it practical. Like, I know you know them. List out the things that are not making that particular course or that particular lesson practical. And what can you do to work on it? What can you do to improve on them? So I don't know if I was able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. All right. So I think Dami has the question. Dami, you mentioned that what can you do when you lose momentum, right? Okay. All right. So now, what you can do when you lose momentum is basically, now, when you know that the reason why losing momentum will be an issue is because most times we are starting from execution. So execution basically has to do with, like I said, doing the right things consistently. But most of us want to start from there. We want to start from delivering a particular product to our clients every day. We want to start with selling 50 products per day. But what clarity will do is, first, clarity is going to make you know that, okay, this is your destination. Your destination is that before the end of this year, I must be a millionaire. So even on days that you lose momentum, you know that, okay, I have not met my targets, but I have not finally become what I have in mind. So you know that, okay, you have to carry yourself. But that's not even the issue. The issue is that in optimization, what optimization will help you do is help you to build habits that are consistent. So this particular morning, you write your to-do list. See, to be honest, if it's something that you're doing for the first time, It's something that you have to be intentional about. Number one, cook. No, every single thing that you have to do that day. If you have enough time, fine. And then if you do not have enough time, now you know the things that are left on your task to be done. And you know that okay, you either delegate it to someone else, or you postpone it to the next day, or you find your way around it. So when you build this habit consistently, even in days when you don't feel like doing it, you will still do it. So an example is, whether you like it or not, when you wake up, you want to stand up from your bed. It's an impulse. It's something that you have done consistently. So it's already a habit that builds with you. And then another easy thing that you can do with losing momentum now, to be honest, I know that most times when we get to a particular peak where most of our energy, we need the highest form of energy to do a particular thing, we want to drop back to where we want to do. An example is usually the most difficult time of a particular project that you want to not do that thing again. And that's because it seems like that particular period is overwhelmed, like you are overwhelmed by it. I think most students usually have this feeling maybe during exam. You might have been reading, in the beginning of the session or the semester or something. But when it gets to the exam period, it just seems like you are overwhelmed, you don't want to do it again. And this is not because you have not been reading consistently, it's just because the demand at that time is very, very high and you just want to give up. Now, this is where the place of accountability comes in. So, like I mentioned, accountability is basically letting people, you might not let them know the process or the full details, but let them know that, okay, this is what you want to achieve. And this is, if it's somebody that you're close to, you can let the person know your clarity, know why you want to achieve that particular thing. Because they have to read it every day. Simple. Or you can go a step further. I want to read every day because I want to have this particular result. So I think that's one of the things that you can do to during momentum, build habits that will help you, that when you get to a place where you need the highest form of energy is required from you, you are not so overwhelmed. And even in the stages or in the places where you're overwhelmed, you know that okay, you have reached out to certain people to help you to be accountable to certain persons. And then, so I think I've been able to answer to everybody. So thank you, everyone. I don't know if anyone other person has anything to say. In the absence of none, you're welcome, Damilola. In the absence of none, we are bringing this class to an end. So the replay of the class is going to be available for maybe those that are not online and other persons that would like to join to listen to it again. So I appreciate everyone for taking up their time to join this call. I hope you have
Yes,
something
ma.
to
Good
say.
evening. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I want to ask, you mentioned about English, and you mentioned about us sleeping, and basically everybody needs to get up from bed. That's basically everything that we have to do every day. You have to, when you finish sleeping, the next day you are up, then you stand up from your bed. So I want to ask that, when writing our to-do list, are we going to write it to the basic everything, so that we will not be skipping some things and ending up not doing some things? Because sometimes when I say I want to do something, I don't basically put in the part of standing up from the bed. So I don't understand that part.
Yes, I understand. So now, writing a to-do list is not writing a to-do list is, should I say, is however you want to write it is actually personal. So for me, when I first started writing my to-do list, I would have to write stand up from the bed. And that's because the first time I'm waking up, I'm pressing my phone for maybe like 1 hour. I'm on Instagram. I'm just whiling away time. And before you know it, like you just finish listening to one trending news, and then before you know it, you are mentioned you are gisting with your roommates on that particular topic. Before you know it, 10 o'clock. But for now that I am, let's say, practically staying alone, I don't need to write, because now I've been able to overcome social media addiction. So that I know that the first thing I do in the morning is pray, and then immediately after prayer, I go have my backpack because I go to work. So now I might not write stand up from the bed. So basically, what you're writing is you're writing the most important things for you to do, and you're writing the things that you think might distract you or you waste time on. For example, if you waste time in the kitchen cooking, you might also need to know why you waste time in the kitchen cooking. And if it is possible for you to allocate time to it, do 1 hour. So you know that, okay, 1 hour might not be okay for breakfast because I have to wash plates first. You can now say, okay, before you sleep at night every morning, let me wash plates so that my 1 hour of cooking breakfast in the morning will remain 1 hour. So there are some people that on their to-do list, the only thing they write is the most important thing they have to do every day. But you see my to-do list, I'm going to write go to buy materials if I have to sew clothes. I'm going to write submit project reports for this particular company. I'm going to write follow up on this. I'm going to write every single thing on my to-do list. Most times I write, I have a call with my fiance, or every Tuesday when I call my family members, I write it out. And that's because I know that for me it's easy to forget some important things. And the things that I will now forget are things that will most likely have an impact on the other things that I think I have done well. So it's specific. If you know that you're not someone that stands up immediately after you wake up, you might need to write it in your to-do list. But if you know that you're someone that you're already disciplined in that aspect, you don't need to write it, basically. So I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, ma.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the call. So this brings us to the end of this class. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.